with grace. Wore every scar like battle paint. They tried to erase my name, my face, but I carved it deep in myth and flame. I stood alone in shadowed halls where whispers turned to sharpened knives, but I held fast through every fall and stitched my soul with rebel light. They built their thrones on borrowed gold while I was forged in fire and stone. They called me lost, too fierce, too bold, but I was never theirs to own. I was a silence they couldn't break, the fall line they refused to see. But now I rise with every quake and claim the ground beneath my feet. I'm right where I belong, on the edge of the sky, with fire in my veins and stars in my cry. I built this throne from broken stone, made exile feel like home. I'm right where I belong, unshaken, unbound. The storm was mine to ride, not drown. Let them watch me blaze, let them hear my soul. I'm right where I belong. They drew their lines in velvet dust, told me to shrink, to fade, to kneel. But I was born of iron and trust, of truths too wild for them to feel. They crowned their queens with silent grace while I wore storms upon my skin. They feared the fire in my face, the voice that roared from deep within. I lit my path with rebel light, each step a spark, each breath a flame. I didn't fit, and that's my right. I'm not their echo, I'm my name. Let the winds howl, let the ground shake. I'm the anthem no cage can take. Cracked earth, neon skies, phoenix flight. I stand in power, bathed in love. I'm right where I belong, on the edge of the sky, with fire in my veins and stars in my cry. I built this throne from broken stone, made exile feel like home. I'm right where I belong, unshaken, unbound. The storm was mine to ride, not drown. Let them watch me blaze, let them hear my soul. I'm right where I belong. I'm right where I belong.
There we go. Much better. Much better. Good evening, everybody. It's been a couple weeks. Yeah, I get it. Uh, sorry about that. Wasn't feeling good last week, so I figured it'd be better to try to be as close to 100% as I possibly could be, even though, that's debatable or questionable to some people, but, hey, I'm better than I was last week. And next week, I'll be even better yet. But that's just me. So I know the topic tonight was originally going to be the government shutdown, but uh, we know that's ended. Hey, Peggy, how are you, love? Um, but with that being over, that's something that's dominated the news cycle for like the past month and a half now. I'm over it. It's over. It's done. Time to move on to the next news cycle, and but it's up to us to decide what stories are being put out there as a distraction so other shit can get done unnoticed. Will we wise up to it? Most of us probably not. You know, um, oh yes, I wanted to also announce that tonight I am streaming on 2 platforms, not just 1. Or I'm live on 2 platforms, I should say. Not gonna say what the other one is. I'm waiting to see if the people with the extra long noses can figure out, you know, or you know, he can figure it out. Peggy, how have you been, love? How's life been treating you? Oh, I guess Peggy went to sleep. Um, oh, there it is. Before I forget, let's pin that link. Oh, excuse me, my bad. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay. The non religious man who thinks signing a Bible will increase its worth. Okay. Yeah. Messiah, maybe in his own little world, but not in mine. Oh, you know, let's see. Um, Next week or probably the first Saturday of December, which is the 6th, I will kind of be reviewing every live that I've done. Kind of like, I guess, some people, I guess, would call it like a year in review or year end review or whatever. Oh, no, I can't. I will not be live that weekend. I'm sorry. It will be the second weekend in December when I will do that. uh, December 13th is when I will be doing that. First week in December is always reserved. I'll be on YouTube. I will not be on any streams. I will be watching a lot of dirt car racing, the Dirt Car Nationals in St. Louis, racing at the Dome, where the St. Louis Rams used to play. I will be glued to YouTube watching that religiously. It is something I have watched every year since they first started doing it. Um, it makes for some interesting racing if you're into racing. Um, you take these, you know, dirt cars. The drivers will, you know, pull out all the stops. They'll, new roll cage, new motor, new tire, new everything, new sheet metal, new wraps, the whole kit and caboodle. And it's something that I've asked my dad a couple times now if he would ever consider fielding a car for my brother or even for my son to drive for that matter. And he said he would never step foot in there fielding a car because you figure, that's where that area where the St. Louis Rams played, that's turned into a dirt track. We're talking a very tight, very small track. My dad said it's not worth it to tear their shit up. Maybe if they had the high dollar sponsors that some of these guys have, maybe. But I'll be watching that that first weekend in December, and I guess I look forward to it every year. It It's definitely if you wanna watch some tempers flare from any sport, yeah, watch that. Oh, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, we got 4 people watching, but it's only me and Peggy in the chat, and I don't count, so that means there's 3 bush campers. Hello, ladies. I know who you are. You know I know who you are. Thanks for the support. Greatly appreciate it. But well, we got Thanksgiving coming up. What? 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Boy, this November is like really freaking flying by. Thanks. We just had Halloween, and now it's like Thanksgiving already. No, I do not have my Christmas tree up yet. Excuse me. Uh, Usually I at least have the trees, and yes, I said trees plural. I put up 2 trees that I decorate, not counting the Village of Clear acrylic trees that goes underneath the one. Um, I in total I have about 20 trees up. Only 2 of them are decoratable. The others are small. 3 of them are light up uh, glass blown trees. So, and then decorate it the week of Thanksgiving, and the first official to me, the first official day of the holiday season is Thanksgiving evening, and that's when decorations all get turned on and will be turned on every night through December 31st. But lots of videos in the digital ID in the UK. I will look it up. Um, I'll look at that later on while I'm sitting here watching Netflix after tonight's stream. Thank you for the idea of something to watch. What the hell was that? Freaking morons. I swear I have idiots for neighbors, but uh, oh shit. Gracie, don't start barking. Not now, baby. Um, well, let's see. I haven't been live since, well, before Halloween. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that until just now. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. I will look at that later. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Oh, it's all right, Gracie. Pulled up outside, and um, if you hear little yips in the background, that would be my 3-pound dictator telling the neighbor or whoever it is outside to get out from the front from her yard. You know, that's her yard. No one else. That's Gracie's yard. There we go. Here it is. Okay, I'll bring this up real quick. That's Her Royal Highness Princess Gracie, the Duchess of Cute. My mom had hounded me for months to get that dress for her, little butterfly wings on the back. Uh, Little did my mom know I had already planned on getting it for her for Halloween. The crown, that was something I found without looking for it. It just like popped up one day, and yeah, that's my little butterfly princess. That's Gracie, my little baby. sharing. There we go. But that's my little doll. Well, not doll, doll. You know what I mean. I obviously cannot speak this evening. The digital ID is basically let me see that again. Is basically an electronic dictatorship. Don't we have enough of them with the dancing? I'm not going there. You know who I mean, Peggy. I'm not saying her name. You know who I mean. That's a digital dictatorship over there. But um, anybody just coming in there's a link pin. Come up. You know, pick your topic. If it's not rude, vulgar, or offensive, maybe we can talk about it. If not, that's on you. Um, hello over there. I have 3 total watching. So if you know if you're who I think you're, big look. If you're not, welcome into the madhouse that is me. For those of you who don't know me, for anybody that might watch this after, I am a bilateral above the knee amputee, which bilateral means both. Um, walking with prosthetics is always an option for most amputees. However, I have other underlying medical issues that severely deplete any chance of me walking again. Um, but I accept it. I accepted it a long time ago. I went through the whole grieving process when I lost my left leg, and then I had to turn around and repeat that last year. But I got through it a lot quicker last year than I did the first go around. You know, that's just a part of what makes my identity so unique. I don't let it slow me down. I still find ways to keep busy. Here, lately, I've been working on trying to finish loom knitting, which is not knitting without the knitting needles. Blanket for a good friend of mine in Canada, whose home burnt down last month. Her and her husband and their 5 children all got out safely, even with her husband, and their youngest, their 2-year-old, having to jump from the second story window. They all got out okay. We can replace everything that they lost. We can't replace them. And so I'm working on trying to get the blanket completed, and then I have to weave in all the ends. I'm talking the sides look like the fringe on a suede jacket from the 80s and 90s. There's a lot of it I gotta weave in. And then if I have time before I have to ship this off, I'm going to throw some hats and scarves together for all 7 of the family. They live in Canada, so it's already cold up there. I'm sure they have stuff given to them, donated, or went and bought stuff like the essentials like that. But I still want to include something for the entire family. The gesture, the sentiment. This person has become like a sister to me, and um, I was totally devastated to hear about them losing their home, but I was glad to hear that they were all okay. The 3 what? Oh, yeah. The 3 I Atlas Comet. No, I have not, Peggy. Let me see what Google got for me. If I could type. Okay, I'm looking at some of the headlines for this. Don't panic. 3i slash Atlas isn't an alien death probe, but it is wildly unusual. Okay, let's. This was posted or made 2 days ago. Let me. Here we are. Yeah, Peggy. They're all okay. She wound up, I think, breaking her foot in the jump because first, and then her husband threw the rope down to her, and then he jumped. But that's the only injury I know of for the seven of it. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been all gone. But let's see here. Take a deep breath. Reports that interstellar comet Atlas is breaking apart have become greatly exaggerated, and radio signals received don't mean the object is an alien probe. Okay. Um, in fact, quite the opposite is true. Every piece of evidence collected about 3i Atlas to date is consistent with a natural cometary origin, a highly weird comet to be sure, but a comet nevertheless. And actually that's really interesting and cool without needing the assistance of imaginary aliens to make it so. What is unusual about the comet is what it's made of. Observations with large telescopes reveal that it has a lot of nickel, a larger than usual proportion of carbon dioxide, and not a lot of carbon chain molecules. It's also red and dusty, suggesting it has spent a long time being bathed in cosmic rays as it travels through space. It's traveling very fast, and a preliminary estimate based on early kinematic modeling suggests that it could have formed as long as 11 billion years ago. Taken to all these oddities combined into a comet, unlike anything else in the solar system, tremendously exciting for planetary scientists and anyone else who likes space. But ever since it was discovered on July 1st of this year, and dogged by rumors of alien pilots re something the solar system. These can all be pretty much laid at the feet of one scientist, Harvard astrophysics infant terrible Avi Loeb, who has hitched his wagon to interstellar objects. First, one eye, I can't read that word, and now 3i Atlas. There's also a 2i one. Um, Loeb's arguments in favor of alien probe theory have been thoroughly rebutted. Oh, yeah. Um, I'm gonna have to really sit and read on that, Peggy. But that really does kind of pique my interest because um, I had a teacher in high school that had been a part of the early stages of the Teacher in Space program, the one that ultimately chose Krista McAuliffe, and whom, as we know, perished along with the rest of the crew on the Challenger explosion in 1986. So I was still in grade school, but had a teacher that was uh, a part of, I guess there was some type of competition or selection process, and he was a part of the early stages of that. So, which I thought that was really cool. But this same teacher also got uh, some of us students a phone call with, I wanna say it was, John Glenn got us a, uh, private phone call with John Glenn, so when I was in, uh, freshman, I believe, when he did that, so that was, like, pretty cool. Hi, Mary Jane. Oh, how are you, love? Oh, why is it I'm on the wrong one, that's why I tried to highlight it and I'm not on Restream, I was actually on YouTube. Having a blonde moment there. Sue me, I don't care. Oh, there's not a whole lot going on. I initially, uh, Mary Jane, I was going to talk about the government shutdown, but no, as we know, it ended. So I'm over it dominating the headlines in my household, at least. So pick a topic, we can talk about it. Peggy just pointed out about a comment, which I just read part of an article on, and it's something I will actually probably spend a couple hours here and there reading about because it actually seems really, really neat. Oh, hold on a second here. I need to get a drink. Um, Mary Jane, you weren't in here the 15th of, or was it 13th? 13th of December, which is the second weekend in December. I'm going to do a review of my uh, lives for the year. The Northern Lights are pretty cool too, Mary Jane Doe. Um, God, what was it last summer? I had just gotten to rehab after my hospital discharge, losing my right leg, and where I live near St. Louis, Missouri, we our skies here were like a deep pink and deep green. I could see some of it from the window in my room, but my son got some really neat pictures of it last year. Um, this year, I didn't bother to go outside. I have to replace the seat belt on my chair, and I will not go down my wheelchair ramp until it's replaced. So I didn't even go outside, and I have a really good, you know, almost $700 camera, almost 900 when you figure in all the accessories I bought for it way back when. That I could have really gotten some good photos of it, but you know, I have this big fear of this chair tipping over again and getting hurt worse than the first time, and I'm trying to avoid that. You've never seen the Northern Lights, Peggy? I mean, like, my news feed on Facebook the other night was just, like, full everybody and their grandma was posting pictures of the Northern Lights. It was everything was really beautiful, but I myself didn't go outside to see them. Um, Everything we are seeing in the news is a distraction on all levels, Peggy, most definitely, 100%. Um, like, how do I wanna say this right. You know, each news story, whatever each topic, um, Mary Jane Doe, if I could see it near St. Louis, Missouri, then people in New York were definitely seeing it. Maybe if you live in a bigger metropolitan area or something, that could have been why. But No, I'm distracted. Dang it. Each topic that's in the news, no matter what the subject matter is a distraction. Excuse me. Sorry. Is a distraction from every other news story because the journalists, the networks, they're all in competition with each other to be the big dog, to be the top of the heap. So of course, everything news related is going to be they're trying to distract you from like if you watch CNN, Fox is going to have something and they're going to tweak that headline to try to distract you from what CNN has. So every subject is a distraction from another subject, no matter how trivial that subject is. Um, wow, I just Googled it and I guess they can be seen from up to New York tonight. Oh, I didn't realize that they were still visible tonight. So um, get out there and enjoy it. I really think you'll just be in awe of it. There are banners in Israel saying that Trump is the Messiah. The Jews are building the third temple. Oh, geez. Something tells me there's a lie uh in that subject matter somewhere. So, but if they want to build a temple for him, more power to them. They can bury his ass wherever in Israel. They can bury his ass there. I think most of America is done with him, to be honest. What do we got going on here? Nothing. Okay. Oh, jeez. Mm. Well, I didn't really intend to do a long. I really did not intend to do a long stream tonight. Ooh, yeah, 4 people watching now. 2 there, 2 here. So, some bush campers out there. All you bush campers out there, you know, step into the light, reveal thyself. And if you don't, that means you're probably a hater. And you know what? No publicity is bad publicity. So, thanks for the support. I much appreciate it. Um, I'm going to do this though. No, I do not wish to mute myself. Okay. But I Peggy, I don't know if you noticed, I took the extra time that I had between streams and changed my intro song again. I changed that more than most people change their socks. But um, I'm still trying to find a song that for me is the right fit. Um, the title of the current song is called Right Where I Belong. And I'm hoping that after playing that on a few lives that maybe that might be the one. Title wise it fits perfect. It's just oh yeah, I let's see what we got here. Oh, now healed up from my accident. Oh yeah, I was healed up the day I came home. The cast came off on September 9th, September 10th. I rolled my happy ass back into my apartment and I've been here ever since. So yes, I'm all healed up from that. Got lucky. Surgery wasn't required, which and everything I researched on that injury, surgery should have been done. So if surgery had been done, the recovery would have been a little bit longer. But um, but yeah, I did a new uh song. Well, it's one I put out a few months ago. But you know what? Let me turn that off. Delete that. I don't want. Nope. I'll turn that off. And Jando, you weren't in here, so I'll play it for you.
I've walked through storms with shattered grace, wore every scar like battle paint. They tried to erase my name, my face, but I carved it deep in myth and flame. I stood alone in shadowed halls where whispers turned to sharpened knives, but I held fast through every fall and stitched my soul with rebel light. They built their thrones on borrowed gold while I was forged in fire and stone. They called me lost, too fierce, too bold, but I was never theirs to own. I was the silence they couldn't break, the fall line they refused to see. But now I rise with every quake and claim the ground beneath my feet. I'm right where I belong, on the edge of the sky, with fire in my veins and stars in my cry. I built this throne from broken stone, made exile feel like home. I'm right where I belong, unshaken, unbound. The storm was mine to ride, not drown. Let them watch me blaze, let them hear my soul. I'm right where I belong. They drew their lines in velvet dust, told me to shrink, to fade, to kneel. But I was born of iron and trust, of truths too wild for them to feel. They crowned their queens with silent grace while I wore storms upon my skin. They feared the fire in my face, the voice that roared from deep within. I lit my path with rebel light, each step a spark, each breath a flame. I didn't fit, and that's my right. I'm not their echo, I'm my name. Let the winds howl, let the ground shake. I'm the anthem no cage can take. Cracked earth, neon skies, phoenix flight. I stand in power, bathed in love. I'm right where I belong, on the edge of the sky, with fire in my veins and stars in my cry. I built this throne from broken stone, made exile feel like home. I'm right where I belong, unshaken, unbound. The storm was mine to ride, not drown. Let them watch me blaze, let them hear my soul. I'm right where I belong. I'm right where I belong. I'm right where I belong.
That's what I came up with. I worked on it last week, fully intending to premiere it last week, and like I said at the beginning, I was not feeling well, so I would much rather uh, try to get myself to as close to 100% as possible, and that's why I did not stream last week. I'm guessing by your reactions in the chat that the two of you approve of the song at least, which um, is promising. I will definitely keep it on my short list now. Thank you. I'm actually that's one of my personal favorites of the songs that I've come up with this year. I'm also got something in the works as far as my music is concerned. What direction I'm going to take that in, and I hope in uh, let's see, I will not be looking at my calendar here. Um, I will not be live the 6th of December, so that first weekend in December, I will not be live. So I'm hoping that what I've got in the works for it will be set in stone by the 13th of December, and I'll reveal what that project is then. But that's really all I got for you, for everyone tonight. Yes, I do have another video to show. I told you, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to do a video to one of my songs to close out every stream. That way, I don't have to keep using the same old outro over and over. Plus, this gets my music out there, by the way, to everybody who might catch this on a restream or is bush camping. Thank you for the support. I'm almost to 2,000 plays on Suno, and that just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy, like I'm doing something right. But that's the legacy that I want to leave the world. That something I'm pouring my heart and soul into, that it finally gets the recognition that it deserves. Speaking of legacy, here we go.
I was born in the wreckage, raised by the flame where silence was law and the shadows had names. They tried to erase me, to fracture my soul, but I gathered the ruins and made myself whole. I walked through the fire with ash in my lungs, spoke truth in a world that cut out my tongue. They buried me deep, but I bloomed through the stone. Now the echoes speak in a voice of my own. I stitched my skin from thunder and scars, lit my path with the bones of their wars. I am not broken, I'm battle designed, a legacy rising, unshaken alive. I don't fade, I ignite, I don't kneel, I rise. Every scar is a vow, every breath defies. This is my legacy, etched in thunder, forged in fire, forged in fire. Not a whisper, not a memory. I'm the storm they can't retire. I am the myth they fear, the truth they try to drown. But I wear my crown in ashes, and I never back down. I'm the voice in the silence, the flame in the frost, though they lost when they counted the cost. I'm name in the scroll, the howl of the night, the shadow that rises, the blaze in the fight. This is my legacy, unwritten, untamed, divine. Not a shadow, not a whisper. I'm the fire in the spine. I am the legend reborn, the storm they couldn't chain. I rise from the wreckage and I rise again. They roll me off in shadows, tried to steal my spark, but I danced with the demons, turned the dark into art. I stitched wings from the wreckage, flew blind through the storm. Every scar was a blueprint, every fall took new form. They cursed me in silence, tried to fracture my name, but I branded their doubt with unshakable flame. I built empires from ruins, drew maps in the pain. Now I fly through the chaos and I carry no shame. I shattered their limits, rewrote every rule, made armor from heartbreaks and fire. If I was a